mandando, elas descem de morando, pode sensualizando, e se apanhem me mandando, elas todas me sentando,
Vai, 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 vai.
Feel like we're falling away. Maybe I just need to feel nothing to make it easier to turn away and leave. Maybe we're fan and flame, so why do I keep holding out my hand to get burned? I don't wanna clash anymore. I can hear the ghosts in the walls. It's telling me to run away, yeah. I don't wanna crash anymore. I can hear the ghosts in the walls. It's telling me to run away. Breaking apart, seeing the end. We have nothing to say. Maybe it's hard to understand that there's nothing left to fight for, and there's nothing left to say. I don't wanna crash anymore. I can hear the ghosts in the walls. It's telling me to run away, yeah. I don't wanna crash anymore. I can hear the ghosts in the walls. It's telling me to run away.
I think we could be something so good. So good. So good.
Wow.
Yeah, and so as tradition around here, I left us muted. Goat's wearing some clothes that are making him turn into John Cena in some areas. So I think he's gonna pop out and go change real quick. I'll put him on the big screen so we can watch it.
Big Texas Goat. Yeah, change on stream.
Yeah, there we go. So you know, as tradition,
340 pounds of twisted steel and sex appeal streamed live.
That's right. First 5 minutes of our show always is dedicated to troubleshooting, as we all know. So we'll get that handled. But I think we got a fun show tonight. I'm excited
I'll
to
be
talk
right
about
back
some
as I go
stuff.
get naked while you do an introduction.
Yeah, we've got a lot of things to talk about this month, especially on the gaming side. It's been a big month, and a lot of cool announcements, a lot of surprises. One that I didn't even think about until just now, and I'm gonna go ahead and add it to our list of things to talk about. So yeah, we've got a lot of gaming stuff to talk about. We've got a couple of really, really cool things for the veteran topic, so we're excited to dig into that. Things are starting to ramp up for us for Steampunk November, so make sure you stay tuned with us to get updates on that. And if you haven't made plans to come out to Venus, Texas to Steampunk November to come see us, you should definitely think about doing that. We've got a lot of cool stuff that we plan to bring. And again, if you follow us, you'll be able to see it all as we show and tell it every single month. The Chroma Keys still doesn't like your shirt. Let me see if I can make some tweaks here. Let's see if we can make some tweaks here.
I mean, it looks mostly fine. It's just a little off.
Oh yeah, it took a second to adjust, but it looks like it fixed itself.
Yeah.
You're
So to
sitting
rep
a
the
little-
brand, you know.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Well, yeah.
So now that I look more beautiful,
Yeah.
didn't think it was possible, did you?
Hey, you know, anything's possible in this day and age.
So speaking of show and tell,
Yeah, yeah.
I don't have a whole lot because we've been having some printer issues. Kind of story of our life.
Yeah, over the
I didn't
past
make
few
a-
months, it seems like.
They make a few things to show and tell. We made recently we got a Jeep this year. For those of y'all that don't know, me and the wife, not me and Dragon.
No, we share a Jeep. It's ours.
Yeah.
Every weekend, we drive back and forth between Oklahoma so that we can
Yeah.
share custody. It's just how it works.
Well, we went to our first Jeep meetup, and I said instead of RUM-Gaming coins like we make, I made some little bitty Jeep coins. So most people know, or people that own Jeeps know that you duck people.
Yeah.
And so I made a little coin that says Duck Duck Jeep and Sweet Ride and Nice Ride, and there's a couple more that say Nice Jeep or something. But they're all made out of the rainbow filament, so they all came out different variants of colors. So
Right. That's pretty cool.
pretty cool. Just something to go in hand out, hey, take one, take all four. I don't care. You
Yeah.
know, add them to your keychain or whatever, but just another example, little, maybe $50, a little bit smaller than $50 size things
Yeah,
you can
just
make.
fun little
If you
things
like
that
company
can be done.
logos, you know. And then that same material, I couldn't remember if I showed this when we had it made. But it had the Oni mask out of that same rainbow.
Oh
I
man,
just found it while I was digging around and it looked cool.
yeah,
I was like, that's worth showing again.
it's a cool one.
It's like how shiny and almost metallic looking it is.
Oh, yeah, I don't even know why I didn't make you big. Here we go. Now you're big. No more chroma key to affect it. There we go. I'm off my
now-
game. I'm off my game.
For the more cooler stuff. Oh, this one's messed up. Dang it. I
Oh,
didn't even realize. Let me grab a good one.
damn it, Jim.
Yeah, that one's good. I'll show this one too as an example. So, we had the idea a while back. Our crystal dragons did really good for a lot of people at a lot of shows. People always selling crystal dragons, but they're always kind of the same. They're either solid color or maybe made them out of rainbow, like we did the mask here. Crystal dragon out of the rainbow. We did really well with ours with the dual color. We had a lot of that were like kind of like rainbow. Where just alternates colors as it prints, and we did like black and red, black and purple, black and green, like a whole different variant. One of those like cotton candy color, and they did good too. But the two-tone ones where you actually use two different kinds of filament, really wowed people. And so I had the idea of printing the bottom color in matte black and the top out of a loud color, like pink, blue, yellow, red, just a solid loud color. And so we started making those for the show, and we have our blue and black one here.
Oh, those are pretty. Those are cool. I like those a lot.
And these are the large size. They're 30 inches long. I always forget, 30, 32 or something.
Yeah, them the big
Yeah,
boys.
See how long my arm is. I'm a big 6-foot guy, and it's as long as my arm. And yeah, they're coming out really cool. But then at one point, the chute or the poop spits out of the back every time it changes colors. It got clogged, knocked the face of the little heated nozzle thing off. And ever since then, it's been having issues where it'll start doing things like this, where it jacks up the top of the spikes. And so now, like, the whole dragon's basically useless at this point.
Bummer.
And even worse, to show the cooler one, the only red and black one I have is really jacked up. See that pop in red and black? Well, this one fucked up like halfway through. So it's not even
Like a
salvageable.
zombie.
Like I can maybe save like the tip of the tail, like all the way down here, maybe. It's about the only thing that's actually solid. But still, if I could at least show off the colors, like it's a nice, cool color.
Yeah, that's
But
sweet.
people always ask, what do you do with the scraps afterwards, or if it does mess up like that? And sometimes you try and salvage it. So like with the dragon there, the last blue one that messed up, I clipped off the tail, so it's just like a 10-inch tail, but it still has the loop on the end, so you can actually like turn it into a keychain. Kind of like people have like ferret tails or fox tails hanging off their backpack or purse or something. You can hang this off of something. And then I also clipped off the head, but I gave that to Coked Up Zombie for his birthday. So the head was like just these 3 links right here. So it had the feet and the 3 links. Try and repurpose, and then the parts that don't, in the case like this red dragon, from like here down to the head, I'm just gonna have to break it into pieces, melt it down into molds, and make skulls out of it or something. Then the other more popular question, thing that's hard to explain, you're like, it changes colors every time. It changes, every paper thin layer on this, it changes colors. And if you don't really notice the details, it starts that color change at the very beginning. So the blue feet, they're blue and black at the very bottom. So it's starting a color change from the very first paper thin layer all the way to about 75% of the way, and then it's just doing the blue at the top. But what you get out of that is what we always call poop on the screen.
Poop.
This is how much poop from those like 3 dragons. This is like a basketball's worth of poop from just those 3 dragons.
It's a ton.
I mean, it looks like it, but again, it's in a ball of. Oh God, I didn't mean to pull that out. So it's in strands, little spaghetti strands. So it takes up a lot of volume when it's in a box like that. When you go to melt it down, honestly, that entire basketball will probably melt down into one skull.
Yeah.
So it seems like a lot, and I keep storing it in boxes. So I have like box after box after box, but in reality, it's gonna make like 5 skulls.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're like baseball-sized skulls. Not it's not like a bowling ball. Like no, it's gonna make like 5 solid plastic, multicolored baseball-sized skulls with like. So for every like basketball size worth of material, it's gonna shrink down to my fist.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to do, in the sense like with these dragons, since I'm doing like a whole roll of blue and black to separate that poop. That way we can have like blue and black skulls and red and black skulls.
Yeah.
And have some more, instead of just the everything. What's that word? The
Amalgamation.
like everybody potluck.
Oh yeah.
See, instead of having like a potluck of colors, we'll actually have, blue and black, red and black, yellow and black, as I go down the line. But, like I said, the printer is basically off track right now, and I have to figure out how to get it back on track. And the first thing we'll print after that will be our winner of the Maze veteran print, which is actually somebody that's in our Discord very often. I always forget how to say his name. Isn't it like Regis or Rebus? What is his name?
RNGbus.
Yeah, RNGbus. There we go.
Yep. RNGbus.
I forget.
Congratulations, RNGbus.
I have a terrible memory. I forget which branch he's in, but I can pull it up.
Oh man, yeah.
If you have any news to share,
I can't think of it either. No, I mean nothing that I can think of. I have a blog coming out here soon. We'll probably post next week. So stay on the lookout for that. It's related to my fitness journey. And I know it's been working. It's really, really cool because everybody that I see who goes like more than a couple of weeks without seeing me, every time they see me again, they're like, man, you look good. You're losing a lot of weight, huh? And it's like, so it's just everybody's reaffirming to me that what I'm doing is working because they're seeing it. I may not be noticing it all that much, but everyone else is. And so that's really nice. So yeah, I'm excited to post about it, and I'm going to try and, keep it going and keep adding more. There's definitely a lot that I want to talk about and a lot of things that I've learned, and a lot of really cool resources that I've found too. So make sure you'll stay in tune for that because it should be fun. Should be fun.
yeah.
Hell, it may even turn into a workout stream at some point. I might take you guys to the gym with me one of these days.
Get to see it live.
That's right.
And then speaking of blogs, I also finally posted my second blog for the, veterans' life in the civilian world.
Yeah. If any of y'all haven't read his first one, I'd really recommend it. It's a great read. I haven't read a second one yet. I'm definitely going to dive in now that he's posted it. But I'm excited.
First one mostly just breaks you into learning about me to
Yeah.
understand why I'm ranting.
Yeah, who you are and why you're so angry all the time.
Old grumpy veteran. But yeah, this one, it's about, not to scare anybody, it's titled just trauma bonding, but it's more of the, I want to say the lighter side of trauma bonding.
Yeah.
There's multiple kinds of trauma bonding. Just like the civilian term is, you're getting beaten and your oppressor starts having sympathy for you. And then there's like combat trauma bonding where like your buddy gets his legs blown off or something next to you.
Yeah.
And then there's just what we call embracing the suck.
Yeah. It's something that it's a blessing and a curse at the same time. Like, you know, I think veterans across the board just have a unique relationship with each other, regardless of, you know, where we were stationed, what branch we were in, because we've all had the shared experience of just learning and having to, as you said, embrace the suck, you know. And so it creates kind of that, and that's my favorite way to describe it, right? Is it creates just that trauma bond. Big Texas Goat with the 79 months on a 69-month streak. Nice. But yeah,
Been a long road.
that's my that's my favorite way to describe it, is like we're all connected through this shared, you know, trauma bond.
Yeah, I mean, probably the better ever. It's more like shared suffering.
Yeah.
But, you know, military always has dark humor.
Yeah.
And so we take the shared suffering and call it trauma bonding.
Yeah.
And while there is more, you know,
Extreme cases than others.
closer to the definition of trauma bonding in the military, you know, we call everything trauma bonding. Even if we had to, like, you know, just sit out in the sun for an hour, we're like, we're suffering together.
Yeah.
This is
It's
trauma
like-
bonding.
It's you could go to anybody in the army and just say 2 words, rippets, and you have a conversation. Like, you know, like everybody knows. Yeah. So stay in touch for that one. Definitely check out the website. Go read. It'll be good. It'll be good.
And then next, kind of our broken record, you know, we're still actively recruiting local volunteers and online volunteers. Anybody wants to help with RUM-Gaming.
Yep.
Mostly just, you know, social media posting and help our social presence in the, you know, internets.
Yeah. I mean,
But also anybody wants to help locally at events.
Yeah, I mean, if you have a passion for content creation and want to help us on the streaming side, we're open to that too. You know, if you want to help us make videos, we're all down with that. You know, I'm sure any of us would be willing to record gameplay if somebody wants to edit it and make videos. Like, you know, reach out. We're willing to do anything.
Just picture the things you could edit. If, like, when I play like Mythics and Warcraft, or even like Warframe recently, like, I'm usually just quiet in the zone. Just, you know, I might call out what's going on. But man, the moment panic ensues, I'm like a little girl.
Yeah. It can be fun. there could be there's always fun moments while we're gaming that we just never like capture. You know?
Well, yeah, I just picture somebody going back and editing it. They like sound clip that or sound bite it, and start repeating it at random events. Just go.
Oh God! Yeah. But yeah, if you know anybody, or if you're if you know anybody, or if you're interested yourself, reach out. All of our socials were easy to find, and we'll make it put it that way.
Doesn't mean we're easy though.
Yeah, no. You gotta at least buy us dinner first.
Yeah.
That being said, a great opportunity to buy us dinner would be at Steampunk November in Venus, Texas.
Or to volunteer.
Yeah, or to volunteer. We're gonna be there. I was talking about it earlier. If you haven't thought about coming out to come see us, you should. It's a great time. The venue, or the event itself, is really, really cool. The people that run it are awesome.
It's November 15th and 16th.
November 15th and 16th in Venus, Texas. Just Google Steampunk November. You'll figure it out, right?
Yeah, we got Facebook, website, Twitter, Instagram.
Yeah.
They're a little slow to post sometimes, but I mean, it's kind of like us here at RUM-Gaming. It's a small group of friends that liked doing things like Renaissance fairs, and the guy had property, and he said, but his buddies, he's like, hey, you want to get together and just make our own, like, you know, festival?
Yeah.
And so on his property, he made, like, he lives where Steampunk November is.
Yep.
And they just keep adding onto it and working on it throughout the year. Every year, it's been ongoing for many years. I don't know exactly when they started.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, so I think it was, last time I looked at it, it was like 10 plus years.
Yeah.
So I mean, they've been doing it a while, and they keep adding, and they do other little things throughout the year. Like they had a pirate festival in December. They do like the Mad Hatter's Tea Party in the summertime.
Yeah.
But mostly it's just Steampunk November, which is just the steampunk version of a Renaissance festival.
Yeah. And we'll be
But it's-
there dressed up in costume. So if you want to see that, come see.
Yeah. Or come volunteer.
Yeah, or come volunteer. And stay tuned because we'll keep you updated on things as we hear from them for Steampunk November, as far as like, you know, different acts or new acts or, you know, all of the acts that they might have. We'll be, you know, talking about those. If we end up participating in what they call teapot racing, we'll provide updates on that. That should be a fun little project if we dive into it.
And that guy, as long as, you know, that's changed with him, they go around to multiple events like this. So when we talked to him, he plans on coming back. And we already got designs for our teapot racer in action.
Yep.
You know, ideally we're going to try and put like Buford and the rum ship on there, but we'll see, you know, how much time and effort we have for it.
Yeah.
But at the very least, we'll have a little 3D printed teapot on a race car.
Yeah.
But that'd be fun. Be fun to, you know, participate even more, and to see what else they bring. Because last year they had the Tiny Girl Big Show, right?
Yeah. Tiny Girl Big Show.
Little tiny,
yeah.
like what do you call it? The flexible people. Contortionist.
Contortionist. No, she wasn't quite a contortionist,
Yeah.
but she does
Very acrobatic and flexible.
Yeah, acrobatic and flexible. She's super popular on social media.
Yeah.
She was a
But she does a
blast.
whole show. Like,
Yeah.
funny and interactive from start to finish.
Yeah.
And with their finale of shooting a bow with her feet upside down, popping a balloon.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
pretty crazy.
yeah, it's really cool. And they're great people too. We got a chance to speak with them a little bit and they came and hang out with us at the booth. So yeah.
Be cool if they come back.
Yeah,
but
it would be. It would
who
be.
knows? I almost look at that kind of being like the main attraction, so I would assume they're going to change that out every year.
Yeah. Yeah.
You never know. But anyway,
Yeah. On to the veteran topic.
nothing else. Yeah. So we only really have one thing to talk about, but it was something we discovered on the recent, what was it, the VA news email
Yeah.
that comes out
Yeah.
like once a month or how often it comes out. I don't pretend to know exactly the time frame, but it seems like once a month.
Right.
The VA news email that the VA sends out to all veterans that are signed up, it said something about, you know, enter to win a free PS5, and we're like, oh, like the VA is giving out a PS5? Like, that's
Yeah.
kind of crazy. But we clicked on it, found out it was kind of the VA. It's the American Legion, but the American Legion made their own gaming community. So they have like a side offshoot of the American Legion that's American Legion Gaming. And it's essentially what we do or try to do with our gaming community, you know, a safe veteran, you know, veteran safe and friendly environment to come hang out and play video games. But theirs is more like VA oriented. So they have a Discord and a website and, you know, all that, and they host little like gaming events, and on their Discord they have like VA help channels and VA news channels.
Right.
But it's, you know, essentially the same thing we're doing, except just tied with the American Legion, you know.
Yeah.
So instead of American Legion sponsoring a bunch of people like they do, they decided, you know what, why don't we just make our own? And yeah, it's pretty cool to have something that's just, it's cool to see things like the VA like recognizing gaming as an outlet
Yeah.
to the point that they've now made their own community.
Yeah, it's gained a lot of traction and a lot of attention through just the research and studies that are you know constantly going on about it. It's pretty interesting because like it starts to wonder, it starts me to wondering, you know, where's the line between therapeutic gaming and gaming addiction? Right?
Ballerina. Not ballerina.
No, she was not a ballerina. Maybe gymnast might be a more
Gymnast or something,
appropriate
that might
term.
be, yeah.
But yeah,
But for those of you who want more information on that, I link the giveaway link, which if you just take away the giveaway part, that's their main website too.
Yep.
But then they also have their Facebook, and then we also found out they support a thing called
Operation Comfort Warriors. Yeah, and it's a program where they help with putting things like gaming consoles in hospitals, and it kind of like what was that one?
The regiment's doing like
regiment
gaming
does it,
stations
but there was
at the VA outpost, or at like American Legion post. They're going around like setting up gaming
wasn't there
stations.
there wasn't there like Stacked Up Gaming was doing another thing like that, and then there was who did we used to stream for? We used to do the 24-hour streams for them.
Well, there's a little different. God dang it!
No, I mean, but they
What's
do.
it called?
Yeah, I'm
Wait,
blanking.
it's on my wall here. Extra Life.
Extra Life, yes.
I literally have a
Life.
sticker on my wall to the left of me, and I was not thinking of what the name is.
Extra Life does that too. They buy consoles and like base computers to put in hospitals. Like more. That's more so for like pediatric hospitals, though.
Yeah.
But still,
again,
really
another
cool.
example of them like recognizing video games as an outlet enough that they're putting them in hospitals.
Yeah. So yeah, if you want to win a PS5, go to the link that we posted there, and see if you can win one. I Shelby and I were thinking about getting a PS5, but then I found out that the game that I wanted the PS5 to play is now on Game Pass, so I no longer need a PS5, which is exciting.
I mean, you never really needed one.
Well, no, but I wanted one so that I could play the game, but I really, really didn't want to get an entire fucking console for one game. But Shelby wanted one too. I mean, we still may end up with one. Who knows? Shelby wants one, but I don't know. But speaking of games,
well, hang on. I was gonna tap into more veteran stuff. I'm gonna say what we're trying to do with our veteran post is share useful veteran information. Whether it's up and coming changes to pay or benefits or healthcare or whatnot, as well as things like this. Shout outs to other organizations. Even if they are doing the same thing we are.
Yeah.
Just if anybody knows of anything to shout out like that, whether it's another community or I've been deep diving research into people that do free canes for veterans that I'm trying to put together for one of our shows.
Mm-hmm.
So if anybody knows of anybody that does anything free for veterans or discounted for veterans or whatever, feel free to just DM me the information. It doesn't even have to be, you don't have to deep dive. You just give me something to deep dive into it and I'll deep dive into it. But, I can't research. I need ideas. I need ideas to research. I mean, so if you have any ideas, let me know.
I'll say one resource that really goes unsaid a lot on our channel, and we should mention it more, but GovX. Like, if you haven't signed up to GovX yet, you really need to. Like, seriously need to. That's going to get you your veteran and military discounts on damn near anything. So yeah, like really make that a priority is sign up to GovX. It's super quick. If you have an ID.me account, they verify in like 24 hours. So you could sign up and you can have access tomorrow. Like, definitely do that. And if you don't know about it, Google it. You'll be blown away by what it provides and how much it offers. You can even get discounts on games. Like I said, great segue into our next section. My favorite.
Yeah. I will say, I mean, not to down it. I mean, do bear in mind that a lot of those discounts, they don't overlap with other discounts.
Yeah.
So that's my only problem with things like that is a lot of them will be like, yeah, it's 10% off, but then like they'll be having a Mother's Day sale that's 30% off.
Yeah. You can't stack them. Yeah. But, recent releases, video gaming news. We have a little bit of catching up to do before I talk about the new stuff. The catching up is something that was really, really exciting to me. I don't remember if we talked about it last episode. but Bethesda surprise dropped an Oblivion remaster. Everyone thought that they were announcing it. We all knew that it was in production and they were working on it, but we didn't know how far along they were. We all thought that announcement was for them to say, hey, officially we're working on it. And that's what they did. And then they said at the end of it, oh, by the way, you can go get it, download it, and buy it now. And it was, Oblivion is a really special game to me. And I've talked about this before. It's the very first game that I ever 100% completed. I did and experienced every single thing that game had to offer. And it just holds a special place in my heart. And being able to play it again, it's been a very long time since I've played it. So it's really cool because it's almost like I'm playing it for the first time again. There are a lot of things that I remember, but there's a large portion of it I don't. So it's a lot of fun. And I gotta say, Oblivion wasn't a perfect game. It was buggy. It was, it had its glitches, but that's become part of the charm of the Elder Scrolls games, right? And I really love the decision that they made to keep a lot of that in. A lot of the silly and fun jank from the original version of Oblivion is still in it. And I love that so much. And the game looks incredible. They didn't redo it on the Skyrim engine, which we all thought they were going to do. We all thought they were going to remaster it on Skyrim engine. And they didn't. They ended up doing it in Unreal, which is, quite frank, unreal. Like, it looks incredible. It looks so good. And it feels really, really great too. So, I tip my hat to them. They did a really good job with it. A total surprise. Nobody expected them to, at least I didn't. I didn't expect them to drop it right away. So that's cool. Now they just need to hurry up and give me something about the next Elder Scrolls in the series. The bastards. 10 years and all I've gotten is a freaking screenshot.
Isn't that funny how a lot of games do that, it seems like?
Oh my God.
But speaking of Bethesda though, even though the gaming we used to go to this every year, so Bethesda has a gaming convention. It's just called QuakeCon.
Yep.
Those of y'all that don't know, used to be like half gaming convention, half bring your own computer, like giant LAN event. And after COVID, it basically turned back into just a big LAN event.
Yeah.
But they do host or have booths to show you like up and coming Bethesda things, like things like Oblivion. Not sure what they're gonna have this year. They still haven't announced like any kind of vendors. But if you're into that kind of thing, it is the Bethesda convention. Bethesda Bring Your Own Computer event, just a giant LAN party, hundreds of people, and it's still fun to go to if you like experiencing old school LAN parties.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's in August 7th through 10th in Dallas. For those interested, since we were talking about Bethesda.
Yeah. In other news, we talked about a surprise drop, and to some people's surprise, honestly, not mine, and I honestly think nobody's really all that mad about it.
Socialism.
But
that's where a group of people that don't socialize get together, Adam.
Yeah. But GTA 6, they announced a delay. It is not going to be releasing this year. I think what they said was August of 2026 now. So we still got to wait a little bit longer. And it's nice to see kind of a shift in the fan base and just the gaming industry in general, where I haven't seen a whole lot of extreme backlash for the announcement. Typically when they announce delays, especially ones like over a year long, people explode, and I mean, I'm sure we've all seen it firsthand. But I think that the climate is starting to shift now. It's like, what? We're so sick and tired of garbage, half-finished bullshit that we just don't care if it takes a little bit longer. Like, we want it to be complete. We want it to be good. We want it to be fleshed out. So I'm at first, yeah, it sucks. Mudslide, I get it. It's bullshit. It sucks. but I think at the end of the day, we're going to get a better product because of it. And Rockstar has a track record and a reputation to uphold. Their games have always been pretty damn good on release. They're really good about that. So give them time, give them some space, let them do their thing. You know, it's not like they've let us down in the past. All of their games have been bangers. Like, think about it. Like, there hasn't been a bad Grand Theft Auto game, with the exception of maybe one or two. The Red Dead Redemption was a wild success. Like, you know, so just let them do their thing. They got this. And so I think we're all good in that. But yeah, delay on GTA 6. Some people are upset about it. I'm a little bummed, but I think it's for the best. And now we're catching up. So more recently, Expedition 33. We talked about it last month about the release and how I was excited on the way it looked, and I've had an opportunity to kind of dive into it and play it some. I've put, let's see, how many hours have I put into it now? Take a quick little peek. Oh. Let's see. I just hope I didn't cover your face with the Xbox.
Oh.
I've played 10 hours. It didn't cut, so we're good. But I've played 10 hours so far, and I have to say it's really, really good. The story is really interesting. At first, I wasn't. How many hours of cinema? Yeah, no kidding, dude. That's one gripe that I have about it. The start of the game is really slow. It's like an hour and a half of just cutscene and story building and like world and lore building. But the gameplay, so if you can get past that, the game's incredible. I think it is challenging, but not too challenging. It's really intuitive. There's a lot of ways that like hyper min-maxers can really, you know, grind and, you know, nerd out on it, but you can also have a really, really good time playing casually. I think it's great. I really, really like it. If you haven't checked it out, it's free on Game Pass. So if you have a Game Pass subscription, give it a download, give it a try. And I know you're smirking at me because you hate it when I say it's free on Game Pass. Shut your fucking mouth.
Me, Mudslide, and Jander all laugh about that statement.
Whatever.
Because you're the only one that calls something that costs money free.
Whatever.
It's like saying it's free to create as many characters as you want in Warcraft. No, it isn't. You got to pay for your subscription.
Okay. So with a Game Pass subscription, you can play it without having to pay $60.
True. But you don't own the game.
No, you do not own the game. And now we're moving into the new stuff here. Exciting stuff. One of the first ones I want to talk about is Star Wars Zero Company. Star Wars announced a new game. I'm going to try and pull it up here on the screen. Boom. From what I'm seeing, it is a single player turn-based like tactics game. So kind of like XCOM or Gears Tactics or like the old like Final Fantasy Tactics game back in the day. But Star Wars.
Release date 2026.
Yeah. Release date 2026. But honestly, just by looking at some of the pictures and the trailer, it looks pretty darn close to being complete, if I'm gonna be honest. Like, it looks really good from some of the gameplay that I've seen. So if it's gonna take even until next year for them to release it, I can only imagine it being really good. I have high hopes for it. I expect it to be complete. I expect it to be fully fleshed out at release, because from what I'm seeing already, it looks really good.
You know, it's crazy. So I was about to say it's crazy that they're coming out with two games at almost the same time. Granted, it just says 2026, so we don't know if that's first, second, third, fourth quarter.
Right.
But we've been watching for Star Wars Eclipse that was supposed to come out fourth quarter 2025. Mm-hmm. Now it's looking more like 2026. And then I just happened to like deep dive a little bit into that further, and there's more than two games in the making right now.
Yeah.
This is like There's 5 games that are in development as of 2025. There's
Yeah.
Star Wars Jedi 3, Star Wars Eclipse that we're looking at. And I forgot that they're supposed to be redoing Knights of the Old Republic.
Yeah,
So
I did hear about
like
that.
kind of like the Oblivion remake kind of thing.
Yeah.
Or I don't know if it's going to be like an Oblivion HD remake or if they're actually like redoing it. I would personally like them just to redo it. It's been so long and you could do so much better now.
Yeah,
Like, it'd be
agreed.
crazy to see what just a whole redone version of it would be.
But if you're looking at the
And then
stream
whatever
now in the
Amy
preview,
Hennigs.
it's showing some gameplay and some engine footage. Like just from their engine, it looks really cool. You know, I'm super excited about it. But yeah, anyway, I would be over the moon about a Knights of the Old Republic remake, because that was something that I never really got all the way through, just because it's really dated. You know, it's really dated.
Yeah, it's like going back and playing fucking 007 Goldeneye.
Yeah,
I think it's pretty bad.
it's brutal.
Even then, they even like I mean, it's been a while, but they did re-release like an HD quote unquote version of it,
Yeah,
and it still looks exactly the same.
yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. We'll talk about the next two after I finish the last 2 games here. We'll talk about the new and up and coming stuff first. Next coming up, we're gonna talk about Doom: The Dark Ages, coming on May 14th. So next week, Doom: The Dark Ages looks pretty cool. And I, you know, honestly, I expect good things from this one. I mean, the Doom is Doom. They knock it out of the park every time. I can't think of a bad Dune game.
I actually didn't play the last one. I saw it at QuakeCon, the like first or second year that we went when they were announcing it.
Yeah.
I never actually played it, but this one is more appealing. Like as we're getting more and more into like 4K gaming,
Yeah.
like that makes it more exciting now.
Well, I really enjoy the Doom games for a couple of reasons. I mean, for me, it's really a great game to just like turn your brain off and just slaughter things. Like, you know, if you want to just jump into a first person shooter and not really have to think too hard and feel like a god, you know, Doom's your game. So yeah, I'm stoked about this one. There's not really much to say about it. It's Doom. It's gonna be good. Yippee. Oh yeah, I did have the video queued up for Claire Obscure that I was gonna pull up while talking about it, and I forgot. Oh well. But next on the new and upcoming, the last one I have before we talk about some current things is Elden Ring Night Rain. We've talked about it when it was announced, but now it's getting close. 29th, 2 weeks. No, 3 weeks. 3 weeks, yeah. For the new expansion standalone game from Elden Ring. From my understanding of it, it's a Elden Ring extraction game, I think. So you'll, from my understanding, I don't know for sure. I really have to do some more research on it. But from my understanding is you go into a world and you fight bosses and you fight NPCs and you level up your character and then you have to try and escape. I don't know if that's the case for sure. I'll really have to dig into it. So maybe I'll get a chance to play it for next month's stream and I'll have some more to talk about. But yeah, it looks cool. I mean, Elden Ring was kind of my first real try at a Dark Souls game, and I really enjoyed it a lot. Or I mean, just the Souls like in general. I've played some of the Dark Souls games, but I never really got more than like 2 hours into it just because they made me angry. But this one was different. I really enjoyed it. I played it a ton. And then it got me into which is now one of my favorite games of all time, which is Lies of P, which is another Souls-like game. And you know, so I expect it to be pretty good. I've heard good things about it. They've done a couple of like betas and things like that. And from what I've been hearing, it's it's pretty cool. A lot of people are still kind of confused about its identity and what exactly it is. So I mean, it'll be exciting to jump in and see what it's all about. But yeah, May 29th. Keep on the lookout for Elden Ring Night Rain. And I think that's all I've got for new stuff. I know you wanted to talk about some current stuff. Well, new stuff for WoW.
Well, I was going to mention one other thing. Speaking of release dates, one of the other games we were tracking, Dune Awakening, pushed out their release date to June 10th. But this weekend, and I was trying to dive into while you were talking, that they're doing a mass beta test this weekend.
So actually, I did do research on that.
I can't see where to sign up for it.
I did do research on that. I will tell everyone where to sign up for it. Go to Steam, go to Dune Awakening, click request access on their store page. Now, this is a mass beta test for this weekend, but it is still closed. They are not picking everyone. It is a random chance. You will get a message from Steam with access to it if you are chosen. They plan to do like a couple of thousand people, so definitely go and sign up, but it is not an open beta this weekend. It is a closed beta.
Okay.
But go
it said mass, and I was trying to figure out, well, how mass?
Yeah, mass, as in a couple of thousand. So if you want to sign up to request access to kind of put your name in the lottery for the closed beta of Dune Awakening this weekend, go to the Dune Awakening store page on Steam and click the request access button. If you're chosen, you'll get a message from Steam saying you were chosen. They'll give you access to the game. You could play it this weekend. But again, not everybody's going to get chosen, so don't get your hopes up.
Those of us have been watching, though.
It's
good to try and sign up.
Yeah, from what I've heard, and from where I got my sources, I'll shout out a little bit of my source. I pull some of my sources from Force Gaming. I doubt he'll ever see this, but I've been following and subscribed to his YouTube channel for a long time, like almost 10 years now, I feel like. And he's really, really great at keeping up to date with gaming news and stuff like that. So if I ever need a refresher on something, for the gaming industry, I know I can go to his channel and find something new to talk about and get a sense of what's going on. So shout out to Force for the source on the Dune Awakening. But I forgot where I was going with that. Oh, he was saying he's addicted to the game. He loves it so much, but apparently it's kind of a mess. There's a lot of bugs, there's a lot of issues still. But the overall consensus is that it's really good. It's really good from what I've seen.
I just worry about, again, with me with an MMO, I always think about in-game.
Right.
And from the description, it almost feels like your in-game is really just kind of PvP. Like there's big open world battles.
Yeah.
It almost kind of reminds me of like Guild Wars open world content. And that's it. No dungeons, no raids, So I don't know. I'll be curious to see what else they bring to the game.
Yeah. I don't believe that the beta is NDA'd. So keep an eye on Twitch. There's probably going to be some content creators out there playing it. I can say with almost 90% certainty Pirate Software is going to be playing it. That's probably going to bite me in the ass, but I'd be willing to bet you that Pirate Software is going to be playing it. I'd be willing to bet you Force Gaming is going to be playing it. So keep an eye on Twitch this weekend if you want to see some gameplay. I'm sure there's going to be content creators putting out videos and streaming.
It might be one of us.
Very well could be one of us if we get access. I signed up earlier today. So we'll see.
And then flipping back to your talking about, one of your favorite games that you're happy to see re-released, like Oblivion.
Mm-hmm.
And games that are getting re-released in like a 4K and how like Knights of the Old Republic would be good. There's one game that I liked when I was back in my console days was Gears of War.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, if they could release Gears of War 6 on like a nice 4K edition that's PC playable as well, like shit.
I mean, I've played the newest Gears on PC and it is awesome. It's really good.
Yeah. Right now they're re-releasing the first one and like remastered.
Oh, they're
And I'm
remastering the
like,
first one? No shit.
yeah, it's called Gears of War Reloaded, but yeah, it's coming out this summer or August 26th.
Man, that's gonna be
Technically this
cool.
summer. Yeah, but I don't know if I want to buy the first one again.
Just sign up to Game Pass and play it till you're done, and then cancel your subscription. Because it will
I'd rather
release on Game
wait
Pass.
till Gears of War 6 comes out.
I was gonna say Gears of War 6 will release on Game Pass day one.
Yeah. If they ever release it.
If they ever
right
release
now,
it,
there's like hints and partial leaks of it maybe being in 2026,
Well,
but
We have a guest,
we'll see.
ladies and gentlemen.
We have a guest. Was it your dog?
No, he's Ducky.
Oh. Well, yeah. So, what did we drop off on Warframe?
Yeah, WoW and Warframe.
So, yeah, we did want to announce that a group of us have gotten back into Warframe. As far as those of us, people that are always looking to try and play with us, a group of us is back in Warframe. We got our clan back in action.
Yep.
Got all the labs and railjack crafted. Like, everything's there, ready for action.
Yeah.
We're, slowly getting back into it, getting the grind going, because it's a lot of relearning for those of us like us that have like quit playing years ago, and all of a sudden you're just thrown back in.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a learning curve. It's funny because like logging back into my account, it's like I know I was doing something, like there was a goal I had in mind the last time I was playing, but I have no fucking clue what that was. Like,
that's why I'm just like, well, I'll just finish the quest line for now and then figure it out from there.
Yeah. And like the other night, it's like I my account isn't nearly as expansive as yours is, and so it's like within a couple of hours of playing, it's like everything I had was max level, and it's like I had to start crafting new frames and new gear and shit. It's like, okay, like I'm already kind of out of stuff to do other than finish the quest. Like, but I've got like so many resources to do shit. I just don't know what to do with it.
Yeah, but anybody that's kind of in the same boat we are, or if you've never played, we're always willing to show people the ropes or re-show you the ropes if you're trying to relearn the game.
Yeah.
That's all I really had about Warframe. Just, it's cool. There's a lot of cool new stuff, and I even feel like there's a new patch or expansion coming soon. But
I tried out the brand new, or I now have the new frame temple, and he's pretty cool. He has like a guitar, and he has like this little beat timer on the bottom of your screen. And if you cast your abilities at like the bottom of the beat timer, like in beat, you get like a bonus to your abilities. And it's pretty cool. And so like you cast abilities and it's like giant fireballs, and you can hear like from a guitar. It's really fun. He's a cool Warframe. I like him a lot.
And then our, Warcraft recap.
Yeah,
big
tell me
thing
about
if you're into Warcraft or you're on, watching video games at all, you've probably seen 1,000 TikToks and streamers and YouTubers all ranting about the upcoming changes, and very little that I've seen that are actually like looking at the positive side of it. But they're releasing two things. So there's been mods in the game for years that will help people learn their rotation, which is like an order in which you should be using your abilities. So if you have like, Fireball, Frostbolt, Lightning Bolt, it'll tell you should use Fire, then Frost, then Lightning, Fire, then Frost, then Lightning, and then Fire twice, then Lightning, then Fire. And it'll tell you which order to click your abilities in. And Blizzard finally decided that, you know what? We could just add that in the game. So they've got with one of the developers of these mods and figured out how to implement it and pull data based on what your spec is from your talent tree. It'll tell you which buttons to press. And all it does is like highlight it with a circle or like a glow, and it's just a suggestion, saying, I think you should press this. And you can obviously, follow along and see how it works for you and adapt from there. It's
And I'm sure you'll also
mostly
be able
meant
to
as
toggle it on and off too.
yeah, you can toggle it on and off. But like I've used those mods before to help me, start memorizing it, So instead of like doing the research and trying to like write it down because I'm old and can't remember shit, I'll read it, on like one of the websites where people deep dive into all this information, and I just do what they say. I'll read it, and then I'll get that mod that kind of gives me the little glowing circles, and I'm like, okay, don't forget, idiot, press this one. Hey, don't forget, idiot, press that one.
Yeah.
And then after a while, it starts becoming muscle memory, and you're not even watching it anymore. So I use it as a tool. Now there are people that only click whatever's glowing, and they're not doing as good as other people.
Yeah.
So for the elitist in the game, they're like, this is bullshit. You're just making the game too easy, and it's already easy enough. And, now you're just going to make it where anybody's going to be trying to play anything because they only have to follow these circles. And it's like, yeah, I mean, to an extent. But the mod already existed, so what's the difference? You have a mod or it's in game. I mean, people still using it. Who cares? Now, the opposite of that is they took it one step further, and they said, we'll also make it really easy. Not only are we going to tell you what to press, but we'll condense that into one button, where you just click 1, and we'll go through the rotation for you. But each of those spells is going to have 2 seconds of time in between them. So it's going to be 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 2, 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3.
Yeah.
So it's going to be much slower, but you only have to click one button.
Yeah, that sounds really dumb to me. I think
So-
I'm okay with like the rotation helper, but a one button rotation, that's stupid.
But hear me out. It's stupid for your main's gameplay. Now think about alts. Let's say you want to start gearing up a warlock on the side, or you want to gear up all your alts. You have one of every class. You want to gear them up. How much does it suck to try and go and like learn a rotation for every class? Or you could just turn on the one-click thing and go do delves or do looking for raid and just click one button and just have fun. You'll still start gearing up your character, but you don't have to do that deep dive research to be a good player until you decide that you want that to be your main, or you want to start doing mythics or heroic raid. Then it's time to go and actually learn your rotation.
I guess so.
But if you just want to casually do delves on your alts, like for me, this will actually encourage me to play my alts. At the moment, I'm like, I don't feel like figuring out how to play and then trying to remember it.
Yeah, and that's
like,
also true. Like that's always been a big pain in the ass for me, is like every time I switch, I have to like reset up all my cast bars, because like on my main I have my cooldowns here, I have my main abilities here, and so it's like I'm used to everything for a specific function being in one spot. I log into an alt and it's all over a different place, so I have to reorganize everything.
You spend
it's like,
30 minutes organizing shit before you even start playing.
yeah.
Or you could be like, fuck it, I'll just switch out of this character, start doing delves. Bam.
Yeah.
Or even like normal raid. I mean, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I
mostly,
think,
normal raid's about just staying out of mechanics or following mechanics.
I'm definitely down for the idea of making it more inclusive for casual players, but they do need to pay more attention to the sweats too. I think the sweats are get kind of neglected in the decision making a little bit. Because there should be systems for the sweats. I mean, there should be, honestly, if you ask me, I think it'd be a great idea for there to be like a whole server just dedicated for sweats.
Yeah, but who's going to determine who gets allowed in? What if I think I'm a sweat?
Your gear ranking and your raider IO.
I can get carried. I can pay for a carry.
That's true. I don't know. That's a good question.
So, I mean, case in point example.
Sweats play classic.
Yeah. Or hardcore. Like me and Adam have been doing, we're almost both 670 item level, which is like creeping up on like the max you can even be right now.
Right.
I think the max you can be is 675, and that's like you're on a mythic raid team. And we've been doing dungeons where I'm putting the minimum item level at 665. And we still go in there with people that just don't do anything besides mash their buttons. They're not trying to interrupt, they're not trying to self-heal, they're not going through defensive cooldowns, they're constantly standing in shit. Like, so you can't base it off of, and the same thing with their score. They'll have a high Raider IO score, high item level, and they just suck.
Yeah. It's like, sorry, brother, you just suck.
It's like, high score and high gear doesn't really mean shit. You're still rolling the dice every time you invite somebody.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I guess you could say the odds are more in your favor that if they're that level and that score that they're better.
Yeah.
But definitely not always the case.
Well, either way, I think the changes aren't all that bad. I think, I mean, I can definitely sympathize with the one button macro thing because, I mean, if I am trying to do a mythic run and there's that one fucking asshole that's just using the one button macro and not contributing, like that's gonna really piss me off. I'm not gonna lie.
What they could do is simply allow where you can't enable that feature in mythics. That would be handy.
Yeah.
Or heroic grade or higher.
Yeah, that's
heroic
true.
And mythic grade and mythics, you can't even enable that feature.
Yeah, it's like you have to know your rotation at that point.
Because I do get it. The people that are trying to, push mythics you're gonna run into those people that are just trying to click that one button and they're like not even beating the tank, and you're like what the hell, dude? You have this high score. What are you doing?
Yeah. Well, I play with my friends.
This is my husband's account.
Yeah, it's
I'm just clicking the one button. Like, jeez. So I get it, but I also look forward to it when it comes to like leveling alts. Again, when you use it appropriately, it's going to be great for me. But as far as like the people I recruit to my groups, might be terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on both sides where, I feel like there should be restrictions on when you're allowed to use it, but I think it'd be fucking amazing to like do delves and looking for raid and even normal raid with alts that just click one button and have like your cooldowns next to it.
Yeah, that would be cool. I can see that. I'm waiting on the house, designer.
Have player housing. Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
one day.
I've been seeing like some of the like how they plan to do it and like the detail they're allowing. Oh, it looks so fun.
Yeah. The same thing with like Dune has housing too.
Yeah.
So it'd be cool to see what that stuff looks like.
But I think that's going to do it for our episode. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's coming in Nightfall. Yep. I hope everyone has a wonderful night. If you haven't already, go check out our Discord. Go to our website, www.rum-gaming.com. Check out
your veteran friends to get off their ass and come sign up for a free print.
That's right.
I'm tired of not printing.
That's right. Check out our Twitter. Check out our Facebook. Check out our YouTube. So.
Oh, yeah. Forget it. That's a long-term announcement, but yeah, Legion Remix for Warcraft is coming out in November.
That'll be fun.
That should be fun.
Yeah, I'm going to have to jump in on that. But everyone have a good night, and we will see you next month with more updates. Make sure you check out the website for my blog post next week. Go to the website this week and read Goat's updated and new post. And we'll see you again next month.
Salute.
Salute.
Intervention or anything else that gets my attention, and I'm falling for you. You're a fine invention, the sort of poison to me that I keep forgetting, and now I'm halfway in and I'm half alive. You take my face and you hold it up to the light. Everything here was bound to take me home. If not you, not here, then I don't know. above is ever so below. Something here was bound to take me home. Unless but I can get you inside, baby. I said you're not on the list, but I can get you inside.
We set off into the summer night, and you're never gonna see us again. We set off into the summer night, and you're never gonna see us again. We went looking for a new sound, and you're never gonna see what we found. We went looking for a new sound, and you're never gonna see what we found. Never gonna see what we found. And you're never gonna see us again. We set off into the summer night, and you're never gonna see us again. We set off into the summer night, and you're never gonna see us again. We went